I'm Quentin DeBerry. Growing up in high school, my friends just called me Q. A lot of my friends called me Skinny Man Scoop. I used to like Fat Man Scoop, and I was real skinny. They called me Skinny Man Scoop. My family called me Red. Most of my family is kind of dark skin or fair brown skin. I'm kind of like one of the lightest ones. So my aunt used to say, Red, come here. And Winston State, everybody called me DeBerry. That's my last name. It was different. So for the last probably 10, 15 years, I've just been going by DeBerry. I don't even really think people know my first name, Quentin, anymore. Growing up, like my family, my aunts, uncle, people who raised me always told me to be proud of your name, because that kind of precedes you. People are going to say, oh, that's Quentin from here, or that's Quentin from there. And you always want that feedback, or when someone says your name, that it has some standards behind it. So my life is built upon like keeping my name clean, making sure that the name represents who I am as a person, and what I want to accomplish moving forward. So I would say that my name is just who I am. When you think of DeBerry, when you think of Quentin, there are going to be some connotations that come with it. You're going to think of a leader. You're going to think of somebody that cares about people. You're going to think about somebody that wants to see people win. So I think like my name is really all that I have. It's something that I own. It's something that no one can ever take away from me. So for the rest of my life, I'm going to make sure that that name stands for something, that it means something. And long after I'm gone, people remember the lessons that I was able to teach and the impact that I was able to give, simply because they're going to remember the name DeBerry. I grew up in Laurinburg, North Carolina. Laurinburg is about 2 hours from Winston-Salem. I knew nothing about Winston-Salem before I got here. Laurinburg is one of those towns where like you have to get out. There is no staying there. My uncle told me when I was in like 10th or 11th grade, but you have two options. Either you're gonna go to college or you're gonna go to the military. I picked college because I thought it was much better. Laurinburg is one of those, I don't know. It's a unique city, a unique town. I love it, but the lessons that I was taught, I can't ever forget them. I was reading my yearbook from high school, and I remember writing myself a letter in 11th grade saying, Quentin, you have one more year to get out of this hellhole. It wasn't like I was literally living in hell, but just the experience of the things that were going around me felt like hell at that moment. Like I saw my aunt and uncle lose their job. I grew up without either one of my parents, so I really had nothing there holding me back. So I had a cousin who actually went to Winston-Salem State back in like 1986. She told me to email this lady that she knew. So I emailed this lady and told her I knew her. So she accepted me into this honors program. I didn't have any honors grades or anything like that, but it was an opportunity for me to get out of Laurinburg. So I got on the first train out of Laurinburg and came to Winston in the summer of 2003. I met the student body president then, and I think her name was Christy Swink. And Christy really gave me my purpose, my place of peace of why I came to college and what I wanted to do in life. I was the first person in my family to go to college. I didn't have much direction of what I was supposed to do. I just knew I needed to get away from Laurinburg. So I got to Winston, I met Christy, saw that she was the student body president, and the first thing I said to her, like, oh, that's real cool that you like the student body president. I want to do that. So I ran for freshman class president. I remember like my first slogan was like, vote for Quentin DeBerry, a step in the right direction. Like, I didn't know what that direction was, but it was kind of my slogan for that moment. And then I came across a quote that really kind of stands true to me, something I'm really super passionate about. And the quote says, do not go where the path may lead, go instead where there's no path and leave a trail. And for me, that embodied my entire life. Growing up in Laurinburg, not knowing my parents. I grew up with RA, which is rheumatoid arthritis. So for me, it was always about, life was always just about figuring out a way to survive. It was figuring out a way to get to the next point. And so as I've gotten older and I experienced college and I went through high school, to me it was all about access. And so once I got to Winston and opened up a door of opportunity, once I became freshman class president and opened up another door of opportunity. So I'm just so grateful for the lessons that Laurinburg taught me. Growing up in Laurinburg, I had like a neighborhood of friends, and we would play all the sports together. But this group of friends, they took care of me. They made sure nothing happened to me. But it taught me how to communicate with diverse people that didn't look like me, that came from different backgrounds. It taught me to love my friends. It taught me to support my friends. And so I took some of those same things, those same homegrown things I learned in Laurinburg, and really just applied them to Winston on a bigger scale. It was the same thing of take care of your friends, love people, help people, and just be an outlet, be a vessel for people. So I think Laurinburg was just what it is. It's a stepping stone for a bigger purpose for myself. It's a stepping stone for a bigger purpose for the people that I'm around. It's a bigger stepping stone for the people that I want to impact, that I have impact. And so I'm forever grateful for Laurinburg and the lessons that they taught me. I'm forever embedded to Winston-Salem State University. And I tell people all the time, like, I really love Winston-Salem State University. Simply because Winston-Salem State University saved my life. I got to see the world from Winston-Salem State University. Winston-Salem State bought me my first real suit. They bought me my first plane ticket and allowed me to meet senators, CEOs. It just made me a better person, a better human being, and most of all, it made me a better leader. And that's kind of my place on this earth at this moment. I'm super excited about it. And, yeah, man, just Laurinburg. We call it the LBG, 910. When people ask me, like, where's Laurinburg at? Is that South Carolina? Like, no, man, it's right on the border of South Carolina. But it's a unique, special place, man. It's forever in my heart. It's taught me tremendous things. It's given me willpower. One thing Laurinburg taught me was how to overcome adversity, how to never quit, how to never give up, how to fight for everything you want in life. So to make it out of Laurinburg and to get to this moment, I'm really starting to enjoy it at this stage of my life. I used to didn't tell people about Laurinburg, or I only would tell people about kind of my successes from college on. But I realized that that's not the real story. You're only getting a part of the good stuff. Let me go in detail and talk to you about the day my mom left when I was in the 4th grade, and I saw her drive up the street never to return. Or when I was in 8th grade and my grandma died and I didn't know where to turn. Or when my aunt and uncle had to buy a brand new house because there was 7 of us living in a 3-bedroom house with 1 bathroom. So it just taught me a lot, man. Just to never quit, to have a tenacious attitude. I think one of the biggest lessons Laurinburg taught me was really just to dream big. Dream big as you want to dream. Work towards all your goals. Don't let anybody tell you can't do anything. Be humble. Love people. Take care of people. Treat the janitor just as nice as you treat the CEO. And just, you know what I'm saying, take care of your family, take care of people around you. Don't take advantage of people. Laurinburg is just a special place, man. It's very, very unique. It's a small place in North Carolina, but holds a big place in my heart of the man I am today, man. So I came to Winston-Salem State University summer 2003 and kind of just took off from there, man. I left Laurinburg where it was at. I remember my aunt, we came up to 52 and I almost got lost. And I was, no, you gotta turn left here. So we came on campus. I told her I loved her. She dropped me off. You know what I'm saying? She went back to Laurinburg, and I just kind of figured out, looked around campus, walked around a little bit, and knew I was home. Knew it was time for me to turn up a little bit, as we say. So kind of fast forward 2005, I decided I'm gonna run for student body president. I'd already been president of my freshman class, sophomore class. So for me, it was only right to do that. So I ran against, I'll never forget, I ran against a Delta and I ran against an Alpha. And I beat both of them. I was 9 Greek, and my advantage was my network. I knew football players, I knew some of the Greeks. I hung with people that we considered not like us, or college thugs as we call them. I was cool with them. I had my own personal network of friends who advocated for me. So Winston-Salem State gave me my start. I launched my first business with my roommate at the time. 80s Baby Entertainment, and I managed or co-managed a female rapper by the name of Baby Sean. And so that kind of got me my start into the music industry, and I kind of fell in love with like that whole process of the music business. Like I was never creative. I couldn't draw, I couldn't rap, I couldn't sing. I just was infatuated with identifying talented individuals. Like whatever you do, whatever you kind of good at, like I had a real gift at seeing it. So Baby Sean, in essence, Baby Sean would open up for all the concerts that we had on campus. So I became like a part-time promoter as I was student body president. So as artists would come to school, I would get their management contact information, and I would stay in contact with them. And so I would email like, hey, I'm Quentin, I went to Winston, I go to Winston, I got this dope producer, I want you to check him out. So I just started sending music out. And so my name started kind of floating around. People started hitting me back, and then fast forward to 2007, I'm a senior, two-term student body president. Like there's only been 4 in the university's history. I'm one of them. So I'm at my computer, and I'm typing like, what can I say to my friends, to my peers that are about to graduate in a few hours. So I just type in mogul, and I'm on MySpace. And so if you remember MySpace, it will have like the top 5, and it'll say if the person's online. So I'm looking, it's like Russell Simmons pretty cool. So I emailed Russell Simmons, man, on MySpace, and told him like, hey, I'm Quentin DeBerry. I graduated. I go to Winston. I'm a student body president. I'm looking for a summer internship. So I push send, and yo, man, like 5 minutes later, I get a response like, hey, we actually have a site called Global Grind. I think you'll be a good fit for it. Can you get to New York for an internship? I said, of course I can. Didn't know how I was going to get there, but I ended up going to New York for the summer, meeting tons of people, man, and kind of that's where I really fell in love with like just the entertainment industry. Had an opportunity to have lunch with Russell, talk to Russell about my life, where I come from, what my ideas and goals were at that time. And at that time, I remember sitting across from him. I was like, man, I want to have my own record label. And he laughed, and I'm looking at him like, man, you made all this money from Def Jam and this record business, well, I can't. And he kind of told me like, yo, the record business is just not, having a record label is not ideal, it's not sustainable. You can stay in the entertainment field, but kind of pick something around it. And so that kind of stuck with me. Fast forward, I ended up moving to New York. After I came back to school, graduated in December, moved to Durham, didn't know what I wanted to do. So I ended up moving back to New York. There was a guy that went to Winston that was moving to New York, and I just kind of ride with him to Winston. It was another Winston alum in New York, was like, hey, I know somebody over at Bad Boy Entertainment. You want to work at Bad Boy? And I was like, okay, sure, I don't have a job. So I ended up working at Bad Boy in the studio. And this was the time when Last Train to Paris came out. So I thought I was going to be this, I thought that was my moment, my big break, where I was about to be this big music exec, A&R projects. Man, that never happened. I ended up moving back to North Carolina. Still trying to figure out my life, man. Still kind of churning at this thing. And eventually, I settled on like being me and doing the things I like. And so I landed on my current company, my current project, my current baby, Berry & Company. Berry & Company is a social entrepreneurship organization. We're a multifaceted company focused on entertainment, empowerment, and brand development. And that's really who I am. And we're a strategy company that partners with social issues that can impact both our local communities on a global scale. We're partnering with some prestigious organizations. We're partnering with the YMCA. We just finished up a deal with Next Up in Charlotte. So it's really about connecting the dots. It's using basically 15 years worth of relationships to help solve problems in our communities, to make this world a better place than we found it. So Berry & Company is it's basically a company about my life. It's how do you get from point A to point B the fastest, quickest, and safest way, ensuring that our internal and external customers are taken care of. So, like when I founded Berry & Company, what really was about it was about like relationships. Like we're a relationship company. I have about 10, 15 years of relationships, and I've always struggled. I've always thought about like, God, why do I know all these people that have no idea that I know them, or they don't share anything in common. Like I have political friends that I can go politic with. I have rapper friends or entertainment friends that I can go talk about entertainment industry with. I have developer friends that are super deep in technology. And so when I was thinking like, what do I want my purpose to be? What do I want to do in life? It was a relationship. It was about relationships and maintaining those relationships to push not only like the culture forward, as we say, but also push the people forward, to push our communities forward. And so that's where Berry & Company came from. It's about utilizing the relationships that I've maintained and developed over 15 years and really kind of make money off of it, but also solving critical issues that affect everyday common people. So we're about 2 years old, officially 2 years old. It's been a blast, up-down ride. We're soon to be partnering with the YMCA in Charlotte. So it's again about building our communities, making them bigger, stronger. And the next generation of leaders is really who we want to impact. I want to impact people that come from communities that look just like mine. I want to impact people that come from communities that don't look like mine. And that's what, you know what I'm saying, life is about, is really the impact that we can make while we're here. And that's what I'm hoping to do with Berry & Company.